Good morning. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, and the time is 10:01 a.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shahardi,
Here.
Commissioner Potier,
Here.
Commissioner Jeffers,
Here.
Commissioner Vercher, Commissioner Wood,
Here.
4 present and a quorum.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on now to old business. Our attorney, Drew Hoffman, is going to give us an update on the status of the Folgers Coffee lawsuits out there.
That's
Hoffman.
right. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and commission members. Just wanted to give you all a quick update on the ongoing litigation between the Folger Coffee Company and Assessor Errol Williams in New Orleans. As you know, Judge Omar Mason, a district judge in New Orleans, issued a judgment on November 18th enjoining the tax commission from certifying any assessment rolls from Orleans Parish that include property of the Folger Coffee Company that's subject to certain ITAP applications. That means that we are enjoined from certifying the 2021 supplemental assessment roll that's been pending on our agenda for a few weeks now, so long as those Folger properties are contained on the supplemental assessment roll. And it means that we are enjoined from certifying the 2023 Orleans Parish assessment roll, which I understand from staff, we have not received everything that we need. So that's not ripe for review, but once it is, as it currently stands, if the Folger assessments are on there, we cannot certify it in light of the preliminary injunction. Notably, within the judgment that Judge Mason issued, it orders the assessor to resubmit the supplemental assessment listings as well as the 2023 roll without the Folger property on there, which would allow us to certify both the supplemental assessments that don't apply to the Folger Coffee Company and allow you all to certify the 2023 Orleans Parish tax roll. So far, my understanding is the assessor has not submitted any amended supplemental rolls or an amended 2023 roll. The assessor did give notice of intent that he is seeking appellate review of Judge Mason's judgment. It's through what's called a writ application. It set a return date or a deadline of Friday of this week to file his writ. And then presumably Folger Coffee Company will file an opposition or a response to it. The commission will consistently take no position as to the underlying legal merits, but will request the court to provide guidance on how we need to proceed. The assessor did request a stay of the 2 orders, ordering that he resubmit the supplemental assessments and the 2023 roll without Folger property, and Judge Mason has denied that stay. So those orders are in place currently. I presume the assessor will seek a stay from the 4th Circuit as well, but that has not yet happened. As you know, there was also a mandamus lawsuit filed by the assessor filed in Baton Rouge. There was a hearing on the mandamus lawsuit last Monday before Judge Don Johnson. Post-hearing submissions were filed the following day, and Judge Johnson has taken that matter under advisement. I conferred with his staff yesterday, and there has not been a ruling issued yet. If there is, certainly I will disseminate that to you all and update you accordingly. Lastly, I understand that the Board of Commerce and Industry's next meeting is not till March. And so it seems that we may not have any resolution as it relates to the ITEP issue until then, but that doesn't directly impact us. We're just awaiting guidance on what we can approve or not approve in terms of tax rolls. Happy to answer any questions.
But just to be clear, we don't have a dog in this hunt. I mean, this is a battle between the assessor and Folgers Coffee Company. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chairman. The only reason that we're implicated is because the statute requires that we certify the tax rolls. And there's, according to Folger Coffee, a position we don't take any position on, there is a legal impediment to our certification that will negatively impact their rights, and that they will suffer irreparable harm per their argument that we don't take any position on. And that's why we've deferred to the district court on their wisdom and guidance on how we need to proceed. And we are currently enjoined from certifying those roles if those assessments are present.
All right, thank you. Any questions? All right, well, thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you. All right, we'll now move on to the approval of the minutes of the November 10th, 2022 meeting. Do we have a motion?
Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes of the November 10th, 2022 meeting.
We have a motion. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. I'll now accept a motion for the approval of the minutes of the November 16th, 2022 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes of November 16th, 2022 meeting.
Now we have a motion for approval. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. I will now consider change orders.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today, we have a total of 3,587 change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 3,488. Place 19 in pending status, defer 71, and deny 9. Reasons for rejection: not providing an occupancy date when applying a homestead exemption. 4 in Iberia Parish, 1 in Jefferson Parish, 1 in Lafayette Parish, 1 in Livingston Parish, and 2 in Morehouse. Reason for deferral: 71 in Orleans Parish, referencing a supplemental roll. We would like to defer all change order requests from Orleans, which reference a supplemental roll. Staff requests approval of these change orders.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we accept the staff recommendations and approve 3,488 change orders, place 19 in pending status, deny 9 for the reason given, and defer 71 supplemental from the Orleans supplemental roll.
We have a motion. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. We'll now consider prior pending change orders.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today, we have a total of 85 prior pending change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 15. Keep 69 remaining in pending status and deny 1 in Avoyelles Parish per assessor's request. Staff requests approval of the prior pending change orders.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would move that we accept the staff recommendation and approve 15 of the prior pending change orders and deny 1 for the reason given.
We have a motion. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. We'll now consider tax sale cancellations.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today, we have a total of 3 tax sale cancellations in Caddo Parish due to being erroneously assessed. Staff requests approval of 3 tax sale cancellations.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of 3 tax sale cancellations in Caddo Parish as recommended by staff.
We have a motion. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. We'll now consider the 2022 tax roll for Madison Parish.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. We have received the tax roll for Madison Parish. We have the electronic roll balance. We have received their quietus, the affidavit, the letter from the auditor, and their public service numbers match. The TC 33 and the miller's report balance. Staff requests approval of the Madison Parish tax rolls.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the 2022 tax roll for Madison Parish.
We have a motion. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. We'll now consider the 2022 amended tax roll for Sabine Parish.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. We have received an amended roll for Sabine Parish. The reason is due to incorrect millages placed on some of their bonds on their millage reports. The values did not change and the electronic roll balance. Staff requests approval of the amended roll for Sabine Parish.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the 2022 amended tax roll for Sabine Parish.
We have a motion. Is there any objection to that motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. Now, am I correct? Does that conclude our docket for today? Okay. All right, so no other matters before the commission today. I'll accept a motion that we adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move for adjournment.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Is there any objection to the motion? There being no objection to the motion stands adopted. We are in adjournment at 10:11